Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Global Apparel Sourcing Expo, organized by the International Apparel Federation, together with the Sourcing Journal and ForSource. I'm Stefanie Schröder, Senior Manager from Strategy End, the strategic consulting arm of PwC. In Strategy End, we help established fashion companies, brands and retailers, but also startups, from strategy through execution. What does it mean? We basically help them in three key areas. First, market growth and digital strategies. Second, supply chain transformations, but then also fit for growth cost optimization and value creation in the context of transactions. Today, I'm here with Verena Ziegler, the co-founder and creative head of BeWear, a white label solution for online retailers to customize their sewing patterns. Hi, Verena. Very happy to have you here. How are you today?
Hi, thank you. I'm good. And how are you? I'm also excited to be here.
All fine. Thanks a lot. And thanks for taking your time.
Thank you.
Maybe you can say a few words about yourself and how you created the idea about BeWear.
Yeah. So my background is I'm an architect and I'm also a textile designer, and I did my PhD in an interdisciplinary team. And so I kind of came from the architecture side, looking at surfaces and objects and how we can also use digital fabrication techniques and artificial intelligence to go new ways to create things. And then I was looking at the body, because the topology of the body is very unique. Everyone is different. And I was thinking about surfaces and how we can algorithmically structure the body and create sewing patterns. So this is kind of my background.
Very cool. And in your presentation, you will tell us more about how BeWear innovates the fashion industry. So I will hand over to you and the presentation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So welcome to my presentation. I will talk about bespoke artificial intelligence sewing patterns today. So BeWear offers the first customizable artificial intelligence sewing pattern technology as a B2B white label solution for online retailers to customize their fashion collections via 3D body scan. BeWear fosters a sustainable, eco-friendly fashion industry through on-demand automation and production of bespoke artificial intelligence sewing patterns without any stock, less waste and less production costs. And as you can see here, these three are self-explanatory. So the textile industry is the second largest world polluter worldwide. As to X, standardization generates over 50% return quotes in the online market, and the standard confection sizes covers only about 30% of the population. 70% do not fit optimally into the standard sizes. So as I said already, there are pain points on different levels. So for example, the customer, of course, has the fitting problem, which is explained, as I said before, that the size system is only covering 30% of the population. On the retailer and manufacturer side, it causes a huge stock and high return quotes of over 50%. And on a world level, it is causing the second highest world polluter worldwide, the fashion industry. So I was thinking of why do we have all this kind of crazy developments in the fashion industry? And it led me to kind of the root of the problem. And this is how we develop sewing patterns. Nothing has changed about the creation of sewing patterns since 1863, when sewing patterns got mass customized. And this is, I think, the root of the problem. So instead, BeWear is using 3D scanning to customize artificial intelligence sewing patterns. And they are algorithmically generated based on the topology of the individual body. And BeWear is a B2B white label solution for online fashion retailers. So how does it work? The BeWear 3D scan app is using ARCore or ARCID infrared sensor from the smartphone for 3D surface reconstruction based on physical realism, and there's no data estimation anymore. BeWear Configurator is an easy webshop integration for fashion online retailers. It's an on-demand automation and decentralized production as a B2B white label solution for online retailers. So BeWear offers an automation and production as a tailored service. This means it is a design for all approach, which means inclusive fashion for everybody. So to sum it up, the very painful process of creating a sewing pattern is a customized sewing pattern is like estimated with an overall of 4 hours, where you try to translate linear measurement through a three-dimensional body. And this, I think, is also the problem why there happen so many translation mistakes. BeWear instead is using, as I said before, the 3D scan, and then is algorithmically designing sewing patterns based on the body topology of the individual person, and then translating these into two-dimensional sewing patterns, which can then be sewed. And this process of creating, like scanning a person and creating a sewing patterns is maybe a minute, but the scanning process is taking 40 seconds in a way. So how does it work? Here you see a little explanation of like you scan a person with your iPhone, and then we translate in the back end the avatar, and we are the first company who can also create physical movement of the avatar to illustrate like the different behaviors of the body. Then we have a library with textiles and their e-module values. And then we can, like in the drawn area, we can put the fabric and simulate through movement the different behaviors of the textile on the body, but also the distance between the body and the fabric. And here you can see that we can create quite different sewing patterns. So in the last video slide, you could see that we can produce quite different sewing patterns, which are asymmetrically or are really in a different shape. But of course, we can also do normal sewing patterns. What we are doing at the moment currently, we are developing with a team of engineers and experts machine learning algorithms to kind of differentiate the different areas of the persons. So that means that we can then define also where starts an arm and where ends the arm, where starts the breast and where not. That seems maybe logically to you, but it is very hard for an algorithm to understand in different sizes, and they can vary in the position as well to differentiate those parts. And this is what we are currently training the system, and then we are good to go to enter the market with our software. So who are we? The core team of BeWear is Dr. Frauke Link, my co-founder, partner, and me, Verena Ziegler. And then we have also two IT specialists who are working with us along since 2019. And then we have, of course, an advisory board. One is based in Germany and one in Switzerland. So the underlying magic of BeWear is that we sell locally produced bespoke fashion for online retailers as a white label solution. That means that we take care from the body scan to the development of the sewing patterns until the sewing pattern is developed. And if the online retailer doesn't has a sewing network based in Europe, we can also facilitate the sewing network we are at the moment. But online retailer has already a sewing network in Europe. We can also just deliver the PDF or the CAD data to the company, and they can then produce the outfit themselves. So our go-to-market strategy is to look for suitable partners for online retailers who are already established, and we are looking for like brands who are interested in doing something good for the world and trying to make a change. We are looking for online retailers who are interested in reducing their return quotes and are happy to develop with us together a market entry strategy. So the next step will be that we are creating online configurators for different online retailers and connecting it with our app of the scanning software, which you can like use on every smartphone. So currently we are building a decentralized sewing network in Europe, and we are also testing our prototypes, and we are developing together with potential investors like fashion for their brands. And in the next slide, you can see one of those investors or possible investors where we just scanned him for like 40 seconds. And we got no data from him otherwise than his body data. And we designed this shirt. And here you can see he has like really falling down shoulders, and he was very happy with the outcome because he tried it on and it fitted perfectly. So we were also very happy that our technology is working with like really without knowing anything about the body of the person, just through the algorithm looking at the topology of the body, that we can design also shirts. So we are also looking for people who are usually not the main customers of fashion brands. So we are looking at very small people or very high persons, or like with a body topology which is maybe not fitting into S to XL standards. And we created a test series of prototypes with our models together. So here you can see just what is possible with very different bodies, and that we can create of standard sewing patterns algorithmically. That means that this shows just the variety of what is possible in a very extreme case. But of course we can do like patterns which are more suitable for like what we are used today. So thank you very much for listening, and please visit our site bewear.zh. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Verena. So really, really an interesting idea, and I think like the future for many of us who are not fitting in the standard sizes.
Yeah.
I would like to ask you two more questions. So first of all, what are the next steps on the roadmap of BeWear?
Yeah, so as I said, we are a startup company, so we are still finishing up our machine learning algorithm to be able to be really precise about where we set standard lines and where we really run through the book and search for the ideal sewing pattern lines. And then we want to find an investor where we kind of enter the market with. So we are looking for a suitable partner who has already an established online business and is like crazy for our idea and wants to have a venture with us. So we would like to build an online configurator in the next month. And we are currently developing already the app for the scanning software, which is then connected in the backend with our software. So we are kind of nearly ready to go to the market. And yeah, we are very excited.
Good to hear that. So yeah, as we currently experience a crisis, so how could you help the fashion industry in the current crisis time, but also beyond? So what is your value add for them?
Yeah, so I think what we are trying to do is not being the enemy of the old kind of fashion industry, but it's more a soft revolution that we try to take online partners on board and trying to develop with them like one or two pieces of their collection, which are then customizable. So it is a kind of slow transition that we are trying to make the customizable process fitting into their kind of business model. And also we are trying to help slowly create better solutions for sewing makers. So like creating a sewing network in Europe is also something we really want to establish, that just the fashion gets produced, which is really in use or for use and not in stock. So these, I think, are why we think BeWear is very helpful for already established online retailers to make this slow transition.
Sounds very promising. Yeah, so we are already at the end, Verena. So thanks a lot for meeting you today. And I really look forward to hear more about BeWear in the future.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.